Washington, keputusan mengejutkan diambil Mahkamah Agung Amerika Serikat (AS). Dengan memenangkan gugatan dari Jim Obergefell, negeri Paman Sam akhirnya melegalkan pernikahan sejenis di seluruh negara bagiannya. Obergefell merupakan pemimpin kaum LGBT AS, yang menyampaikan gugatan agar pernikahan sejenis bisa disahkan di AS. Tuntutannya tersebut dikabulkan oleh Hakim Anthony Kennedy. Hakim itu mengabulkan gugatan dari Obergefell setelah 5 dari 9 hakim anggota persidangan setuju mengesahkan permohonan legalisasi ini. Tidak ada ikatan yang lebih tinggi dari pernikahan untuk mewujudkan cita-cita tertinggi dari cinta, kesetiaan, pengabdian, pengorbanan dan keluarga, sebut Kennedy seperti dikutip dari CNN, Sabtu, 27 Juni 2015. Mereka meminta untuk disamakan haknya di mata hukum. Konstitusi telah mengabulkan hak mereka, tambah dia. Setelah diumumkan, tidak semua hakim di persidangan tersebut menerima keputusan kontroversial ini. Salah satunya adalah seorang hakim senior di AS, Anthony Scalia. Pria tersebut sejak awal menantang habis-habisan gugatan dari Obergefell. Dia pun menyebut akan ada bahaya besar di depan setelah putusan ini keluar. Putusan ini adalah bahaya bagi demokrasi di AS, tegas dia. Substansi keputusan ini bagi saya pribadi sama sekali tak penting. Tapi yang mengejutkan adalah keangkuhan sangat terlihat dalam persidangan ini, ucap dia. Ucapan selamat dari Obama. Walau terus diselimuti pro kontra, setelah putusan dibacakan, orang nomor 1 di AS, Barack Obama mengeluarkan pernyataan resmi. Dia menyebut putusan ini adalah langkah maju bagi negara ini dalam hal persamaan hak. Semua warga AS harus memiliki kesempatan yang sama di bawah hukum yang berlaku, ucap Obama. Putusan tersebut semakin memperkuat persamaan hak di AS di semua elemen masyarakat dan komunitas, papar pria yang menghabiskan masa kecilnya di tanah air ini. Mendengar dukungan dan ucapan selamat dari Obama, Jim Obergefell merasa sangat terharu. Ucapan terima kasih bahkan ia haturkan langsung pada Obama. Saya sangat mengapresiasi ini Bapak Presiden, saya merasa sangat terhormat bisa ikut dalam perjuangan ini, ujarnya. Dengan putusan ini, AS menjadi negara ke-21 yang mengesahkan pernikahan sesama jenis. Sebulan lalu, langkah kontroversial sama juga diambil oleh Republik Irlandia.
I have to tell you, as I said, I've been going through an evolution on this issue. I've always been adamant that gay and lesbian Americans should be treated fairly and equally. And that's why, in addition to everything we've done in this administration, rolling back Don't Ask, Don't Tell, so that outstanding Americans can serve our country, whether it's no longer defending the Defense Against Marriage Act, which tried to federalize what has historically been state law. I've stood on the side of broader equality for the Lgbt community. And I had hesitated on gay marriage, in part because I thought civil unions would be sufficient, that was something that would give people hospital visitation rights and other elements that we take for granted. And I was sensitive to the fact that for a lot of people, the word marriage was something that evokes very powerful traditions, religious beliefs, and so forth. But I have to tell you that over the course of several years, as I talk to friends and family and neighbors, when I think about members of my own staff who are in incredibly committed monogamous relationships, same-sex relationships, who are raising kids together, when I think about those soldiers or airmen or Marines or sailors who are out there fighting on my behalf and yet feel constrained, even now that Don't Ask, Don't Tell is gone, because they're not able to commit themselves in a marriage. At a certain point, I've just concluded that for me personally, it is important for me to go ahead and affirm that I think same-sex couples should be able to get married.
After years of struggle, setbacks, and activism, a gay rights triumph. The Supreme Court declaring gay marriage is constitutionally protected and legal in all 50 states. 46 years ago, in front of the Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village in New York City, a riot ushered in the modern gay rights movement. Today, in that spot, a celebration.
Congratulations, everyone.
Gay couples and same-sex couples and the LGBT community are finally being treated as equals.
The president calling the man who started it all, lead plaintiff in the case, Jim Obergefell, who challenged Ohio's ban on same-sex marriage.
I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir. I think it was your wishes.
And across the country, excitement in San Francisco. In Michigan, tears of joy.
The rain has no end.
And in Nashville, these women, some of the first to be married on this historic day in Tennessee. But the fight for gay rights is far from over.
There are still quite a number of policy issues still up for discussion.
The Supreme Court decision is binding on state officials, but some states so far still not providing same-sex marriage licenses.
The Supreme Court's decision is not immediately effective in Mississippi.
Still a victory for gay Americans, with many more to come.
So I'm here with Joey, and we're going to give him some questions we got off of Facebook. First question here is, what are your thoughts on gay marriage?
What are my thoughts? Gay marriage, definitely a hot topic issue that's been debated either in the, also in the Supreme Court, but also in congressional hearings and just in the streets of Halstead. My belief is that, yes, gay marriage affords the rights for same-sex couples who get certain benefits that heterosexual couples definitely take for granted sometimes.
I don't see any reason why they shouldn't get the same rights as anybody else. I mean, why not?
I don't believe in it. I don't think it's right. That's how I was brought up, in church. And I know that people are going to say, Christians shouldn't judge, but it's not how it was intended to be. I don't have a problem with who you're in a relationship with. But as far as marriage goes, I think it's strictly between a man and a woman, and that's how it should be.
What are your thoughts on gay marriage?
Well, obviously, as a gay man, I'm also in a relationship now with my boyfriend, Austin. I think it's an important factor for all of us. I think it's an important factor as a whole, as the United States, that we provide equal civil rights for everyone. In myself, I've experienced different things through my past experiences in the military, where because of the rights that are not granted to gay couples and because of the fact that we're unable to have a sanctioned marriage, there were many rights that were denied to us. If I was overseas, the party could not be with me. There was just multiple things involved there. And then even on the more civil side of that I've seen since being out is that there's a huge impact of the amount of rights that were denied, the way that we're looked down upon in society because we can't have that marriage and that commitment. And I see nothing wrong with, if two people really love each other, why can't we have a lifelong commitment and be able to show that and express that to everyone else the same way everyone else has the privilege of doing?
Should gay marriage be legal?
Absolutely.
Yes. I think it's inevitable anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it should be.
Absolutely.
Without question.
Yeah, without question, for sure.
If adoption is legal, then marriage is basically an adoption. You're taking somebody who has no legal rights to you and yours and saying they are not family to me, but I want to make them legally family to me. And the question of sex has nothing to do with it. And the question of religion has nothing to do with it because that's between you and your church. If two people want to consent to tie their lives together legally, then they should be given all those legal rights.
My parents got a civil marriage from a courthouse, and that had nothing to do with anything religious. So, if two consenting adults should be able to form that union and form the government's eyes, it shouldn't be an issue other than that.
In April 2015, the U.S. territory of Guam lifted their ban on same-sex marriage. This puts them ahead of at least 13 U.S. states which still have laws on the books preventing equal marriage for all. In fact, the issues of gay rights, including marriage, have become increasingly relevant in just the past few years, with multiple countries stepping up to legalize same-sex marriage. So where is same-sex marriage legal? Well, currently, marriage between two people of the same sex is officially legal in 18 countries, with legislation enacted in Slovenia and partial legality in the U.S. and Mexico. In the U.S., it is recognized on a federal level, with 36 states plus Washington, D.C. and Guam allowing legalized gay marriage. The first country to end marriage discrimination was the Netherlands. It may seem surprising today, but that legislation wasn't passed until as recently as the year 2000. In 2003, Belgium also legalized the practice, but prevented same-sex couples from adopting children until 2006. In 2005, both Spain and Canada followed suit. Spain legalized because of the election of a progressive socialist government that campaigned for the issue. Canada then did so because more than 3/4 of their territories and provinces had already established marriage as a gender-neutral issue. In 2006, South Africa's Constitutional Court ruled that banning same-sex marriage was inherently unconstitutional, making it the first African country to change their views. In 2009, both Sweden and Norway allowed current and future civil unions to be considered legal marriages. In 2010, Portugal, Iceland, and Argentina also made the shift. Most significantly, Iceland elected an openly gay prime minister in 2009. Since 2013, Brazil, France, Uruguay, New Zealand, the UK, Luxembourg, and Finland have all passed bills giving same-sex couples the right to marry. With so many countries enacting equality legislation, the U.S. is definitely falling behind. Despite the overturning of the controversial Defense of Marriage Act, which led to the federal recognition of same-sex marriage, gay marriage is still not legal in 13 states. It seems as though it's only a matter of time until advocacy groups get what they've been looking for, gay marriage as a universal human right. America's pretty divided on the issue of same-sex marriage, but the problems run even deeper. While other minorities are protected from discrimination, the LGBT community is not.
The overall law of the land when it comes to discrimination in America is the 1964 Civil Rights Act. This protects employment discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin.
Watch that video at the link in the description. And thank you for watching TestTube. Please subscribe. Hey all you sexual beings out there, thanks for tuning into D News. I'm Trace. Homosexuality and homophobia is a topic of discussion around many a dinner table in the United States and elsewhere, Russia. And though many feel they're in the right on both sides, there's a definite scientific angle to be taken to simply just let the battle go. Let it go. Science says homophobia is killing you. Yeah. To a tune of about 2.5 years of your life. A study done in the United States and published in the American Journal of Public Health wanted to determine whether individuals who harbor anti-gay prejudice experience elevated mortality risk. It turns out, yeah, they do. All things controlled for being equal in their study, people who are prejudiced against the LGBTQ community will die 2.5 years earlier than an equally healthy person of the same age. And sadly, the stress isn't only on the bigots, it spreads to their targets too. Columbia University's Mailman School of Public Health completed a separate study which found bisexual, gay, and lesbian individuals living in communities with a high level of anti-gay prejudice had higher mortality as well. They found when controlling for the normal variables of a community, people in the sexual minority died 12 years sooner on average. LGBT people living in high prejudice communities were 3 times more likely to be murdered than in low prejudice communities. That is astounding. A key point in their study was that they assessed the community as a whole rather than the experiences of those individuals. Now, I don't really have a research study to cite, but it seems to me it's rarely only the bigot and their target who are victims of the stresses involved here. The hate is probably felt by their families, their neighbors, and their friends as well, and I wonder what their health effects are. What do you think of this? Have you ever let go of your hate and felt better? Share your experiences with the haters down below in the comments. Your experiences are important. Make sure you subscribe for more, and we'll see you next time on D News.
Several thousand protesters have marched in Washington against same-sex marriage as the U.S. Supreme Court prepares to hear arguments on the divisive issue on Tuesday. The decision rests on whether same-sex couples have a constitutional right to wed.
It's in the Bible and God says so. It's between a man and a woman. And the Supreme Court has no authority to even redefine it, even talk about it. It's not in their authority at all. It's not even in the Constitution for them to discuss it.
Representatives of the Protestant and Orthodox churches were present with the message that marriage begins with God and not the state.
As Pope Francis has said, married life is such a beautiful thing, and we must protect it, protect the children.
However, the tide of opinion may be against the church, as our correspondent explains.
The marriage traditionalists might be fighting for a lost cause. A huge majority of Americans is in favor of same-sex marriage, as were multiple court rulings across the country. And the Supreme Court will likely do the same. Stefan Grobe, Euronews, Washington.